And if, you know, the problem that we have is that sometimes we tell these lies and we go out shopping and we go, you're shopping, I thought your sister was here from San Francisco. And then we have to come up with another lie as to why we told the first lie in the first place. Now, sometimes this gets really serious. Sometimes, and I have actually seen resumes that, well, let's just say that they excelled in creative writing. The information on the resume, I mean, is so grandiose, it's almost certainly not true. And being a computer programmer and hiring people who are going to be teaching computer programming, I'm binary. It is either true or it's not. And if I read your resume that says you are capable of doing certain things and we hire you, I pretty much expect you to be able to do certain things. And I don't know how many people in the room are guilty of padding your resume a little bit, but you're setting yourself up for trouble because anytime you tell a lie, there is always the pending possibility that you will be discovered in telling that lie. And I can't and won't tell a lie because of the abject fear that I have of people finding out. I mean, when I'm helping to plan a surprise birthday party, I try to avoid being anywhere that he even asked me because I don't even like to stretch the truth for surprise birthday parties. Now, we do this all the time. We have gotten so used to the idea of telling a lie that it's just part of our normal, everyday, look, that's just what we do. And the guys will all recognize this. Do I look fat in this dress? Now, as soon as a guy hears that, I mean, our adrenaline level is up because we know that you can't answer that question. You just can't. It's going to end in a bad result. I suggest telling the truth. And the truth is, we really don't care. We're going for dinner. And we just, you know, we've been sitting here waiting for you to put on your makeup and fix your hair. We're tired, we're hungry, we want to get out the door. I don't care what you're wearing. Just get in the car and let's get the hell out of here. And we can be a little bit more diplomatic than that. The only reason that you're asking the question is because you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you think you're fat. The only thing that matters is whether or not you think this dress makes you look fat. Your opinion is the only one that counts, so why are you putting me on the spot? And forcing me to choose between hurting your feelings and telling a lie. And this is the thing. And it's real easy to talk about, but all of us do it, I'm sure. Now, the biggest problem is that this habit causes us to begin lying to ourselves. Lying to other people is one thing, because we know what the truth is in our head, and we are trying to fool someone else into believing a lie. But when you make something like that a habit, you start to believe your own hype. You start lying to yourself. Now, one of the most common is voting for the lesser of two evils. I don't know how many times, I'm a libertarian candidate. I wish I had a nickel for every time I heard the voting for the lesser of two evils story. Michael, you're a great guy. I really like you. I think you're the best candidate, comma, but I can't vote for you because, and then they give some excuse. You're lying to yourself. You are absolutely, abjectly lying to yourself. If you vote for the lesser of two evils and your candidate wins, you still get evil. And then you sit around going, well, I voted, it's not my fault. Yes, it is your fault because the person you voted for is violating the Constitution, violating their oath of office. And you figure because you took 10 minutes out of your busy schedule to go down and push on this electronic pad and vote for the lesser of two evils, that you are exempt from all the problems, the political problems that we have around us. It is your fault because you have been lying to yourself. And this problem is so widespread that we end up losing everybody's trust. That's the real danger. When you get caught lying, now you have a reputation of not telling the truth. And the next time we ask you a question, we may not even ask you because why bother? Because I know that the next thing coming out of your mouth is iffy. You may be absolutely telling me the truth this time, but how can I believe it? And that's the danger, losing another person's trust, losing your sense of honor. Cause and effect. Why is cause and effect so important when we have airplanes flying through the sky, when the laws of physics are involved? But as soon as the cause and effect is telling the truth or kind of getting away with whatever I can, then we really don't concern ourselves with cause and effect. And all of this leads up to the fact that we have a nation with citizens who are so prone to lying that we end up with a president who says, I never had sex with that woman. And then later, when it's proved that he was lying, we go, well, that's all right, all adulterers lie. You know, anytime you cheat on your spouse, you're naturally going to lie whenever you... Oh, that makes it all better. Cause and effect. I don't care what, or who you are sleeping with. The fact is that you are lying and you have no credibility. Another cause and effect scenario. Stealing. I talked to you about private property and the legitimacy of taking somebody else's private property without asking or paying for it. Stealing, theft. I'm fairly certain that I would get a unanimous response that stealing is just not good. However, most of us have worked for, large firms, and at some point in time we discover the supply room. I need a pencil. All I got to do is just go down the hall, and the supply room is right there at the end of the hall. You just open the door. My mother tells a story about the first time she saw the supply room. It was like a religious experience. Paper and pencils and staplers, and it's like, oh my gosh, this was fantastic. And so you go, well, you only need one pencil, but there's this box of pencils there, and so you just take a couple extra just in case. Okay, so a pencil is only, 2 or 3 cents perhaps, and you can always justify it that you're using these pencils to do your job. They hired me, they need me to do this work, and I need these pencils. Well, then you see those really nice pens that they kind of use in the executive boardroom, and there's a box of those. And you don't really need it to do your job, but God, wouldn't it be nice to have? And so you just take just one, there's a whole box, and you justify it to yourself that you're not taking the whole box. It's not stealing because I left other pens there, but I'm just going to use this one to show off because one of these days I might be invited to the boardroom. And then you take a stapler because you actually do that like once a week, and then when you move on to another job, you clean out your desk, and what do you take with you? You got to take my stapler that's been in my desk for 2 years now. That's got to be my stapler, and certainly that's not stealing. And I don't know how we justify that to ourselves, but we all do it. Now we get to, like shoplifting a candy bar. You're just really hungry, and you see this, and it's only a 50-cent candy bar. If my brothers and I were ever caught taking a 50-cent candy bar, the shop owner and the police officers would never do what I know my parents would do. The disrespect, the horror of losing their respect, of having to go home and listen to my dad lecture me for a half an hour. The 50-cent candy bar is just not worth it. I mean, if you get caught, now you're a thief. You've destroyed your reputation.